What started as a political drama at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission headquarters in Abuja on Monday morning turned into a health crisis that nobody saw coming. When former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai showed up at the EFCC office to honor his invitation over corruption allegations, security operatives deployed tear gas to disperse the massive crowd of supporters who had gathered to show solidarity with him. But what happened next is absolutely shocking and has raised serious questions about crowd control tactics in Nigeria. The tear gas fumes that were meant to scatter El-Rufai supporters didn't just stay within the EFCC premises. Instead, the thick chemical smoke drifted across the perimeter fence into the neighboring Federal Medical Center in Jabi, creating absolute chaos inside a hospital full of sick patients, pregnant women, and vulnerable people seeking medical care. Hospital staff members who witnessed the incident have described it as complete pandemonium. According to their accounts, patients who were already dealing with various health conditions suddenly found themselves coughing uncontrollably as the tear gas invaded the medical facility. Their eyes began burning and streaming with tears, and many started crying out in fear because they had no idea what was happening to them. Nurses and doctors who were supposed to be caring for patients found themselves struggling to breathe as well, making it nearly impossible for them to do their jobs properly. The situation was made even worse because the tear gas penetrated deep into the hospital building, meaning that even people who were indoors were not safe from the fumes. One pregnant woman who had come to the hospital for a routine antenatal checkup gave a frightening account of her experience. She said that even though she was inside the hospital building, she suddenly couldn't breathe properly. Her eyes filled with tears immediately and she started coughing non-stop. The panic was so intense that people were running into each other, desperately trying to find clean air or a way to escape the suffocating fumes. Nobody knew where to go or what to do, and the chaos made everything worse. The Federal Medical Center in Jabi shares very close proximity with the EFCC headquarters, which is now being criticized as a dangerous situation that should never have been allowed in the first place. Civil society observers and medical professionals are now asking serious questions about why crowd control operations would be conducted so close to a hospital without considering the potential consequences for vulnerable patients. When security operatives decided to fire tear gas at El-Rufai supporters, they apparently did not take into account that the wind could carry those toxic fumes directly into a medical facility where people with respiratory problems, heart conditions, pregnant women, newborn babies, and other vulnerable patients were receiving treatment. This is being described by many as a grave operational miscalculation that could have resulted in deaths or serious medical complications. If you're as shocked by this story as we are, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel because this situation is raising important questions about how security operations are conducted in Nigeria, and we'll be following this story closely to see what actions are taken. The incident has sparked outrage across social media, with many Nigerians questioning why the EFCC would allow such a dangerous situation to develop. Some people are asking whether anyone conducted a risk assessment before deploying tear gas in such close proximity to a hospital. Others are wondering what would have happened if the fumes had reached intensive care units or operating rooms where critically ill patients were being treated. The fact that pregnant women and their unborn babies were exposed to these toxic chemicals is particularly concerning because tear gas exposure during pregnancy can potentially cause complications. El-Rufai's arrival at the EFCC headquarters on Monday had already created a tense atmosphere before the tear gas incident occurred. The former governor showed up with over 1,000 supporters who wanted to demonstrate their solidarity with him as he faced questioning about alleged financial impropriety during his time as Kaduna State Governor from 2015 to 2023. Security operatives at the EFCC denied these supporters entry into the commission's premises, which led to protests and confrontations at the entrance. Videos circulating online show El-Rufai supporters accusing the EFCC of treating them unfairly by using tear gas against them while allegedly allowing anti-El-Rufai protesters to gather nearby without any interference. The anti-El-Rufai group was reportedly carrying banners and placards demanding that the former governor be thoroughly investigated and prosecuted for corruption allegations. The situation escalated when the crowds grew larger and more confrontational, prompting security operatives to deploy tear gas and possibly attack dogs to disperse the pro-El-Rufai demonstrators. What the security forces apparently failed to consider was the wind direction and the proximity of the Federal Medical Center. Hospital sources say that the thick tear gas fumes completely disrupted medical services for a significant period of time. Staff members had to abandon their normal duties to help patients who were struggling to breathe, and some medical procedures had to be postponed or interrupted because of the chaos. The fact that this happened at a government medical facility that serves thousands of patients daily makes the situation even serious. The former governor's visit to the EFCC is connected to investigations into allegations that he misappropriated over 423 billion naira during his tenure as Kaduna State Governor from 2015 to 2023. His successor, Governor Uba Sani, initiated a probe that led to these EFCC investigations. El-Rufai has consistently denied any wrongdoing and has claimed that these investigations are politically motivated persecution designed to punish him for opposing President Tinubu's administration. Regardless of the political dimensions of this case, what happened at the Federal Medical Center represents a serious failure in operational planning and public safety considerations. The victims of this tear gas incident were innocent patients and medical staff who had nothing to do with the political drama unfolding at the EFCC headquarters. They were simply at the hospital seeking medical care or providing healthcare services and ended up suffocating from tear gas that was fired during a political confrontation.